Hello everyone, and welcome to an unboxing of Horizons of Spirit Island. If you are watching this before October 2022, no, you didn't miss an early release. Target just messed up and sent a few people early copies because they made them available online to order. So sorry if you missed out on that, but that does let us open this a little bit earlier than the anticipated release date. This is an $8 setup, camera-wise, so you're not going to get very many fancy angles. So depth-wise, we might have a little bit of an issue. But I will try to compare as best as I can the new release and the old stuff, as far as thickness of cardboard and the box sizes. This is the Jagged Earth box. It's the same dimensions as the original Spirit Island box. As you can see, Horizons is a little bit smaller. Thick-wise, let's see. There you can tell. It's almost about 2/3. But let's get to it. I have a bunch of material from the original and other expansions, so we can kind of compare the stuff. All right. Let's open this. All right, let's have our first look here. Ooh, here we have the rulebook with the 5 new spirits introduced, which is going to be the main draw for a lot of the Spirit Island veterans. There are no formal rules changes in this version in Horizons. Oh wait, this is a quick start guide. This is different than the actual rulebook. That's interesting. That's good. This is a target exclusive release aimed at a different audience than the standard Spirit Island fan base. This is trying to get new people into the game. Think of Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion. What that did for standard Gloomhaven, this is doing for standard Spirit Island. So here are the 5 spirits. Let's see what's in the quick start. We have a simplified explanation of the setup. It explains picking your spirits, a setup, Invader cards. It goes into, as you can see, first round in detail. So it will probably explain, it does explain growths for 3 of the spirits, it seems. It talks about spirit phase, gaining energy, and how to play cards. Here it goes into details on the fast phase, giving you examples again from 3 of the spirits, 4 of the spirits. And then it goes into in the Invader phase, exploration, slow phase, and then it gives you a second round and beyond. For more information, you can look in the regular rulebook. If you've played base game or any of the expansions, you're probably familiar with the heftiness of the Spirit Island rulebook. It goes into more detail on elements, sphere, individual, more finite situation, more probably has specific examples. Delineates the specific things on a card. So I can't imagine that there's much different in here compared to the original rule books. There are some updates as far as vocab and specific terms, but the rules are the same. This is a this is the beginner version of that's recommended in the original rulebook, playing with no blight card, no adversary. There is no way to add that in Horizons by itself, but you can add all this stuff from here into one of your other base games and crank up the difficulty, or just add these spirits into your original box or to your other box. All right, here we go into the super good stuff. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. In order to draw in order to lower cost and make this a little bit more accessible, this will be retailing, I believe, for $30 at Target, exclusively for 2 years. So if you're watching this or hoping to get this and you're not from a country that has a Target, you will have to wait a little bit or find a way to import it. These are much thinner than the original boards. I have Thunder Speaker right here if you want to look. This is significantly thinner. It's a little hard to tell here, but this is, it's about the thickness of a power card. Let me grab one. Let's see. They feel comparable. Maybe a little thicker on this. No, it seems, it just, if I'm holding it like this, it feels like a large power card. So it's, and these have held up. This is from, I've played my original sets quite extensively and they held up. I do have my spirit power cards and the power card sleeve now, just to make it a little bit easier to shuffle, and because it does seize heavy play. But here, the Blight cards I do not, and they're holding up pretty well, and this feels pretty good. Let us start with, I guess, just looking at the spirits. Here we have Devouring Teeth lurk underfoot. They're under the ground. This is cool. Offense focused spirit. These are all low complexity. Oh, it doesn't even have the complexity ratings on here. Interesting. But I believe they are all low complexity, and because this is, again, aimed at newer players, maybe people who are less familiar with quote designer board games. Bunch of little tentacles hanging out like a beard. We have Eyes Watch from the Trees. More of a defensive spirit with fear and some control. Bunch of little eyeballs. We have Fathomless Mud of the Swamp for all you otter fans. Here's a close-up of Mr. Otter. At your shrines, build actions add explorers instead of buildings. Interesting. Let's see, this is a little bit of everything here. Probably my favorite art. Rising Heat of Stone and Sand. A little bit of a heat wave effect. At your shrines, invaders have -1 health. Not bad, not bad. Oh, definitely more offense and control. Not strictly offense like the first spirits. And the fifth spirit is Sunbright Whirlwind. I know a lot of my friends who have seen this spirit are big fans of it. They think it looks very cute. It does look very cute. Look at that. After you add presence during growth, push up to 1 Explorer Dahan from that land. And this is a heavy control, heavy utility spirit. I forget exactly what the utility is. I think that's the category where it's none of the others. So when it can do things that are not these 4, that's utility. Okay, so here are our 5 spirits. Again, these are on the thinner power card thickness cardboard, cardstock. I don't know what we would call it. So you can see, these 5 are about the thickness of one of them, I think is what they were saying in the announcement trailer. So they will be coming out with the thin versions of all the original spirits from the base, the expansions, and the promos, and they're going to be hollow. So if you're looking for a storage solution, because here, this takes up quite a lot of real estate in whatever storage solution you have. I actually bought a, let's see if I can sneak it into the frame. Oh, we got to be careful with these because they are thin, so that is something to keep in mind. I bought a art box from, I think it was Hobby Lobby or Michael's, and stripped everything from the inside. This is, I think, where an art student would keep their their paints, and it has room for a little wooden slat and stuff. But I just keep all my stuff in here. You can see one of the Apocrypha Spirits, and here, Spreading Rot Renews the Earth. You can find files for that. It's not a formal spirit, it's not canon, but it was designed by Mr. Eric Royce, so quasi-canon. A little pretty heavy to play, but it's a lot of fun, and it's a little bit different than other things. But yes, so if you're looking to save space, because that box is almost filled up, but once I upgrade these to the skinny ones, the skinny foil ones, it will save quite a bit of volume. All right, let's put this back over here. This is all original stuff. All right, back to the good new stuff. All right, again, we're going to be extra careful with these. We're going to move them up here. All right, let's see what we got now. Okay, here we have another cost-saving measure. Instead of little plastic minis, everything is cardboard now, including the invader pieces, which were appropriately thematically made of plastic, whereas the spirits and the land were made of cardboard. Now they're all cardboard, but this is not because they are now part of the land, but because we're trying to save some money. As you can see, the Dahan are also not, they don't have the little huts. The Blight is also not the little plastic piece. The Fear tokens seem to be more or less the same. Oh, you can track damage on the back of the buildings. It makes sense for, let me punch one out, for the towns, because it's either 2 health, 1 health, or dead. I'm not entirely sure what the rulebook is going to say about how to keep track of damage for this, because we have 3 health, 1 health. I would probably use this for 1 health, or just maybe it just means damage. We'll have to check the rules for how to keep track of that. Let's see, here's a Dahan. So someone pointed out, a damaged Dahan. Someone pointed out in the subreddit, which I recommend y'all join the Spirit Island subreddit. There's a lot of information there, as well as the Spirit Island Facebook group. There's a lot of interesting discussion and fun pictures and gameplay. Let me show y'all. Oh, someone mentioned that because these now match identically to the icons on the power cards and so on and so forth, there can be less confusion, because there's not a lot of doubt as to what that is, because it looks like this, whereas someone might forget that that stands for a Dahan hut. So let's do a little comparison here. So instead of these are the towns that are now represented by this 2D piece. Here we have a city represented by the 3D one and the 2D one. Once more, we have the Dahan. Oh, here, the Dahan. So this one is quite smaller. I think they're all a little bit, yeah, the 2D ones take up a little bit more space. And then let's punch out an Explorer to compare that as well. Okay, money. Let's look at the money here. Oh, I'm actually ill-prepared for this because, oh, actually, it's in here. Let's move these guys over here. I believe I bought the premium token pack. It is very fun. I like playing with the premium tokens. I will show them in a second. But I would not call it necessary by any stretch of the imagination. The original tokens and pieces are serviceable, but it is nice playing with the premium tokens because they are much more tactile. They are thicker and easier to pick up, especially if you have bigger hands. I don't have that issue, but for the larger fingered individuals, they are a little bit easier to pick up. Here, let's dump this in here. Oh man, look at this. have some. Okay, here we go. So here we have the energy tokens. This is from Horizons. This is from the original game. They do have a different printing on them. These don't really have a pattern. These kind of have a quasi wood looking print to them. But more or less the same. Same goes for the 3s. Let's see. If you would like to see the premium tokens, they are a little bit smaller. Here, I will compare all 3. So this is the original, this is Horizons, and this is the premium token. So you can tell they're a little bit smaller, but here's the fun part. They are quite chunky. They are fun to play with and hold in your hand. And they're a little bit more solid. So I recommend it. It's a little pricey. I think they're like 35 bucks pre-shipping and tax. But if you can find it on sale, or you just want to eat the cost, I'm not going back. That's why I didn't even have these out anymore, because I use the premium tokens exclusively. Okay, so that is these. Let's compare the Blight token as well. Here are the original Blight tokens from the base game, now represented by a 2D as well. This definitely is much clearer iconography wise, because this doesn't look a lot like the Blight symbols. This does. And let's go ahead and look at the fear. I need a original fear token. Oh, these are much harder to tell apart. The one on the right is the original. The one on the left is the Horizons. These are even almost the same size. These, I would say, are interchangeable for sure. Okay, so here, we do have a new color. I'm going to skip past the reminder tokens and the defense token and get to those pieces in a second. Let's go ahead and let's see if I can find one. Okay, just for comparison's sake. In fact, let's use the old yellow and the new yellow. All right, here is the original one on the right, the new one on the left. They're supposed to be different colors, although these do kind of look similar. And then on the back, this is an isolation token, but consider it, here, I'll just swap it out real quick. So I guess this one's a little greener than this one, but I might confuse these on the board. So I don't know if I'm going to play with a combination of these two colors, but it's there for y'all. I will showcase the new colors as well. Here we got like an aquamarine. I'm trash with colors, so don't believe my colors. All right, let's see. Here's a comparison to the original red. The now aqua teal, whatever color it is, doesn't really have a one that really matches with it, or might be confused because it's quite a different blue. So these are the new colors, or besides this one, new colors. All right, this is, oh look, we have a ×3. So if you are getting out of hand, or if you want to play with some of the adversaries from the expansions and you want to use the new tokens or the new boards, they are here for you. All right, these are all covered. put this over here. All right, next we have the new board. Ooh, shiny. Oh, what? No, that is different. I'll get to that soon. All right, here is the board. This, I don't know what size I was expecting, but this is quite large. Oh, look at that. Here is the 2-player board. So this, you can tell, is non-modular. You could, I guess, print out a shape of this to cover it up if you want to play with just one board and want to use this board that already has everything set up on it. In the original base games, you have the, I gotta be careful with those, these, and so it's detached from the other stuff, where you might remember you have this board in addition to the island boards where you keep track of all the invaders and so on and so forth. So this is a little bit of a positive if you're trying to go for a quicker setup where it's just one board and there's space for most of the things. So 2 boards. Interesting design. This looks much more different. All the other boards share the same shape. I don't know if the shape is different, but mechanically it touches the same number of places. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. This is from the expansion. So anyways, it does look a little bit different. I like it. Oh, the boards are different. G and H coming off of F from Jagged Earth. So these are different boards. So if you want to play on new boards, they are here for you. On the other side, if you want to play with 3 players, you have a more standard looking island. And this is FO. F is right here. And this one is this shape, G and H. So it looks like the shape is the same because it fits these 3, huh? So yeah, maybe it's just it looks different, but it plays the same. We'll have to see that. But yeah, so here's the new board. It explains to you the number of fear, how much blight. For those of you that don't know, blight has been updated. It is, if you're playing with blight cards, we'll go over that later. But here is the new board. This is quite nifty. I do like this. So makes for a little quicker setup. Some of y'all might want to have a to-go version of Spirit Island using the Horizon stuff, because if you have the base game and you're already a big fan and have most of the stuff like I do, really the only new things are going to be these spirits. So for many people, I can imagine after they transfer this, everything else is going to be recycled because there is no new material except for the new spirit stuff and the new colors. But if you want to keep a travel size version, you can. Storage baggie, always good. I keep them in my premium token pack with all the baggies I might ever need in my whole life. Here are Invader cards. These I'm happy because these are getting quite worn out in my set. I haven't sleeved them, and so they have seen quite a bit of wear and tear. So I might replace them. And they have new art on the back. If you would like to compare these to the old art, let's see if I can find them. Oh, they are sleeved now, but they weren't sleeved for the longest time. I have about 60 plays, so not an exorbitant amount, but original Horizons. Here we have the minor powers, which are all identical in effect to the original game, to the base game of Spirit Island. However, there have been updates to phrasings that perhaps had edge cases or were unclear, or I'll try to find an example, but But yeah, a lot of people, if you want, when you get the new game, you can replace your old stack, your old deck, with the new deck and stick the old deck either in the recycling or in your to-go box, in your to-go kit of Spirit Island. What? As you can see, we have the Horizons icon that helps you differentiate the cards. So these are identical to the base game. One of the new terms used is downgrade, I believe is what it's called. It just means you take a building and you turn it into the building with the next fewest health, or if it's a town, it turns into an explorer. So these are more or less identical. Some of these were clarified what it means. Vengeance of the Dead, for example, explains that it cannot trigger on it can't trigger itself. Here you go. Here's an example. Downgrade one building. So this, in the original one, I believe says replace a city with a town or a town with an explorer. Here, shorter and sweeter. Downgrade. So nothing new here. These are all just power cards and fear cards. Majors and minors. And now we get to what we've all been waiting for. Well, at least what I've been waiting for. The unique powers. Oh, what is this? Oh, these are the fear dividers that are, again, also thin now. They are not the cardboard of the original game, which I have right here. These are the original dividers. This is the new card. If I had to guess, I bet these are power progression cards. That they are. So, if you would like to teach with progression cards, they are right here. I think I stopped using progression cards even to teach new people because it's useful, but there's a lot of fun in drawing the cards and getting to pick. So if you're playing with experienced gamers who are familiar with these kinds of board games, just not Spirit Island, I would maybe forego the power progression cards. But certainly with people that don't play a lot of board games and I was teaching them, I still use the power progression. Okay, let's see what else. So that's the art on the back. Let's look through these. All right, let's start with Tremors. We have Ferocious Rampage. This is art by Mr. Murrow Rogers. We got Animal and Fire. Damage. Ooh, 2 money. That's expensive. Furious Might. Deal extra damage. Again, Fire and Animal. Moon, 1 money. Head towards the Lurking Man. Maw. These are the Lurking Men. Okay. 1 money. And then here's one for 2 energy. That's like some expensive cards. I hope they have good energy production. Defend 9, but push 2 Dahan. Non-optional. So this is a defend card, not really a counterattack card. Okay. Here are the elements displayed. And I'll grab the card, so the monster, so you can see how that pairs up with the elements. Although these are low complexity spirits, you might notice that they have elements on their tracks now. I think that was one design change from the original games to this one. So you can play low complexity, but uncover elements now. Elements are fun to find. So here's the spread, and here is Devouring Teeth. All right, next up we have Eyes Wandering, Boon of Watchful Guarding. Ooh, a lot of defend, 0, that's good. Eerie Noises and Moving Trees. Oh, similar to Lure. 2 fear, push. Mysterious Abductions, 1 fear, 1 damage. I don't really... Oh, that's just the guy's bag. Someone's bag. Abandoned. And oh, and a hoe as well. And Whispered Guidance Through the Night. Again, elements reminiscent of Lure. Gather 3 and fear if Dahan and Invaders. Oh, there is Devouring Teeth. All right, here is the spread of elements. And Eyes Watch from the Trees. Next up, we have the Otter. Fathomless Swamp. We have Exaltation of Tangled Growth. Gain energies and gain power cards. Foul Vapors and Fetid Muck. Intractable Thickets and Thorns. Good defend 5. Oh, 2 money. It's expensive. Open Shifting Waterways. Gather to Dawn. If Dawn and Invaders are present, 1 fear and 1 damage. All right, so they got quite a few elements here. Here is Fathomless Swamp. All right. Our penultimate spirit, and the one that I think looks the coolest, Rising Heat of Stone and Sand. We have Gift of Searing Heat with Eyes Watches in the art. Gain 2 energy, pay 1 energy, and do 1 damage. Or, this is a or. Some lightning and thunder speaker elements. Stinging Sandstorm. Oh, I love this art. Gather up to 1 of your presence, 1 fear and 1 damage. Sweltering Exhaustion. Skip, Ravage, or Build. 2 energy. And I think my favorite art in this game, we saw this in the preview, Call on Herders for Aid. Here's the spread. Okay, and our last spirit, but certainly not the least, Sun Bright Whirlwind. Gift of Sunlit Air. 0 cost. Gift of Windsped Steps. Make a power fast if it has push or gather. Very thunder speaker elements. Scatter to the Winds. Fantastic art by Lucas Durham, as always. Tempest of Leaves and Branches. I think we saw this in one of the previews. Choose up to 5 different invaders in target land. 1 damage to each of them. 2 money. Alright, so here's the spread. And here are the elements that we're going to be needing. So yeah, I can already feel holding these thinner ones. I do want to be careful. I don't want to let too much weight hang on these, so I'll probably keep these as flat as I can moving forward. Here, I don't know if I gave you enough time to see Devouring Teeth, so we'll go one more time. Okay, and I believe that is it. I hope y'all are excited for this new expansion slash starting point. This is a leaping off point for new people. So if you don't know anything about Spirit Island, I strongly recommend, and you're interested in the game, this seems like a fantastic starting point. It can be a little daunting if you've never played Spirit Island before and you play the base game, just because there are a lot of things, a lot of spirits. You might be tempted to play one of the higher complexity ones and feel a little overwhelmed. Oh, last thing, I'll show you all these colors while I talk a little bit more. The Horizons does not have any of the expansion stuff that came in Branch and Claw or Jagged Earth, including the tokens like Disease and Wilds and Beast tokens and Strife. It is just the base game. There are not even any adversary cards or blight cards like these. These came in the original and expansions and promos, where it gives you blight per players, and then it flips over and it gives you one last chance before you run out of blight to still win, putting a little pressure on you. There is an errata for those of you who might not have heard. The original blight cards, again, this does not apply to Horizons, but to base game and onward and the other stuff. It is not now 2 blight per player, it is 2 blight per player, and then once you've added those blight, 1 additional total blight. So for 3 players, it would be 2 per player. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 total additional blight for 7. So that does make it a little bit easier, but more in line with the difficulty of especially solo play. So solo play before was very difficult, especially if you were playing blight heavy spirits. Now when you play Heart of the Wildfire, you have 3 initial blight instead of 2. So add that to your future plays. That's really the only big rule change that has happened in all the years that Spirit Island has been out. Besides some adjustments and rule clarifications here and there, that one is a significant change. I hope you guys like these new colors. These are what we're going to be playing with. So again, this is a fantastic jumping off point. It is going to be $30 at Target. You can integrate this pretty seamlessly into the other things like the base game or any of the expansions. I think it's intended for the original game, Spirit Island, to be the next step for after Horizons. Thematically, this, I believe, is an island that you can see from Spirit Island off in the distance, but is not Spirit Island proper. But there are still spirits there, and obviously Dahan inhabit both islands. So they are sister islands. So I think that'll do it for this unboxing video, my first unboxing video, and like my 3rd video total. So let me know if y'all have any questions about what came in this set. I think I showcased everything. Again, there's not a lot of, it's the most basic way to play Spirit Island, and the spirits are all low complexity. If you're a veteran, you already know all this, and you're gonna buy this probably just for the spirits like I did. But this is gonna be useful to teach new people and get more people into the hobby and exposed to the awesomeness that is Spirit Island. So have a wonderful day, y'all. Again, lucky few of us that were able to snag this. Thank you, Target, for messing up. I don't blame you. Thank you, Intern, for letting us have this. But the rest of y'all, I will see y'all in October. Have a great day.